He left you. He thought you were just another option. Listen to me carefully. This is where your real power begins. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something undeniable. No one, and I mean no one, who truly knows your worth will ever think they can replace you. Yet there are people who will try. A man who thought you were just another face in the crowd, just another name in his contact list, someone he could discard and replace, let him try. But you will not be waiting. You will not be pleading, you will not be explaining. You see, people misunderstand power. They think control is power. They think love is weakness. They believe that if they can walk away from you, you will break. But listen carefully, you don't break, you rise. What should you do? Should you cry? Should you beg? Should you try to show him what he lost? No. That's what weak minds do. That's what people who are desperate for validation do. You, my dear, you will choose a different path. Silence is power. Not just the absence of words, but the presence of something far greater. Control. Control over your emotions, control over your actions, control over how the world perceives you. The loudest voices in the room are often the weakest. They scream for attention, they beg to be heard, they fight to prove a point. But the one who remains silent, that person is unreadable, unpredictable, and unstoppable. Think about it. When someone disrespects you, what do they expect? A reaction. They expect anger, they expect tears, they expect you to break. Because the moment you break, they win. The moment you react, they know they have power over you. But when you say nothing, when you simply walk away with a smirk as if their words or actions are beneath you, that silence shakes them to their core. Let's take a simple example. Imagine a man who leaves a woman thinking she will beg, thinking she will cry, thinking she will fall apart without him. He blocks her, ignores her, shows off with someone new just to get a reaction. Now imagine she doesn't react. Imagine she doesn't call, doesn't text, doesn't even acknowledge his existence. Days turn into weeks and she is nowhere to be seen. She doesn't post sad messages. She doesn't try to make him jealous. She doesn't try to remind him of her worth. That silence will haunt him. He will wonder, did she ever care? Did she move on? Why is she so unbothered? And that is when the power shifts. Because silence forces the mind to speak. Silence makes them fill in the blanks. And when people don't have answers, they create their own. They will wonder why you didn't chase. They will replay memories in their head, trying to understand how you could just disappear like that. And by the time they realize your worth, you are already too far ahead. This applies everywhere, not just in relationships. In a fight, the one who loses their temper first loses. In an argument, the one who stays calm always comes out on top. In business, the one who listens more than they speak always wins the deal. Why? Because silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Have you ever seen a lion hunt? It does not roar before it attacks. It does not announce its presence. It moves in silence, calculating every step until the moment is right. And when it strikes, it is already too late for the prey to escape. That is how power works. The strongest people do not need to prove anything. They do not need to convince anyone of their worth. Their presence alone is enough. Look at the world around you. The people who always talk about how great they are, how rich they are, how powerful they are, those are the ones trying to convince themselves. The truly powerful ones do not speak, they show. They let their success be the noise. They let their actions do the talking. And that is exactly what you must do. When someone tries to insult you, do not react. When someone tries to bring you down, do not engage. When someone walks away thinking you will chase, let them keep walking. Because the moment you choose silence, you choose power. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you step into a different level of strength. Think of the most legendary people in history. The warriors, the leaders, the masters of their craft. They did not waste words. They did not seek validation. They understood that true power is never in proving, but in being. And the moment you understand this, your entire life will change. Because when you learn to control your silence, you learn to control everything around you. Glow up mentally, emotionally, and physically. Not for them, not to prove a point, but for yourself. Because the moment you decide to elevate, the world will shift in your favor. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to seek validation. Just become. Become the person they thought you could never be. Become the person they wish they never lost. Mental glow up is the foundation. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but most people let it be their greatest weakness. They allow negativity, self-doubt, and fear to control them. But what happens when you start feeding your mind with power instead of poison? What happens when you train yourself to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles? Everything changes. You start walking differently. You start speaking differently. You no longer react to small-minded people because your mind is too busy expanding. Think about this. If you are constantly focusing on the past, how will you move forward? If you are always thinking about what they did to you, how will you build something greater? Mental glow up starts when you take back control. When you stop allowing people's opinions to dictate your life. When you stop letting rejection define your worth. Because the truth is, rejection is redirection. Every time someone walks away, every time a door closes, it is the universe pushing you towards something better. But most people are so focused on what they lost that they fail to see what they are gaining. Not you. You will see the opportunity in every loss. You will use every setback as fuel. You will train your mind to be unshakable. Emotional glow up is next. You cannot master life if your emotions master you. People will test you. Life will throw pain at you. But how you handle it defines everything. The weak ones break down. They seek pity. They beg for love. The strong ones, they transform pain into power. They do not let heartbreak destroy them. They use it to rise. They do not let betrayal make them bitter. They let it make them wiser. When someone leaves you, do not ask, why did they do this to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Because the truth is, every painful experience is a lesson in disguise. Look around. The most powerful people you know, the ones who carry themselves with confidence, the ones who command respect, they have all been through something. They have all felt pain. But the difference, they did not stay there. They did not let their emotions trap them. They mastered their emotions. That is what you must do. Learn to control your reactions. Learn to sit in silence and process your feelings instead of acting on impulse. Learn that your peace is worth more than proving a point. Because the moment you stop letting emotions control you, you step into a different kind of power. Now let's talk about the physical glow up. Because whether people admit it or not, appearance matters. It is not about looking good for others. It is about feeling good for yourself. When you take care of your body, you send a message to yourself and the world that you respect yourself. You wake up earlier. You move with energy. You dress with purpose. And the best part, the better you look, the better you feel, the more unstoppable you become. Think of it this way. Have you ever seen someone go through a breakup and suddenly they start looking better than ever? Why? Because pain, when used correctly, fuels transformation. And this is what you must do. Transform. Do not let heartbreak make you look tired and drained. Let it make you radiant. Do not let disappointment make you weak. Let it make you stronger, sharper, more disciplined. You do not have to be the most beautiful person in the world, but when you carry yourself with confidence, when you walk like you know your worth, when your energy radiates strength, people will notice. They will feel it before you even speak. And that is the real glow up. Not just a pretty face, but a powerful presence. When you glow up mentally, emotionally, and physically, you become a force. You become the version of yourself that they never expected. You do not chase. You do not seek revenge. You simply rise. Every single person who underestimated you will feel your absence. Not because you tried to prove them wrong, but because you proved yourself right. Never try to prove your worth to someone who doubted it. Because the moment you do, you place your value in their hands. You turn yourself into a performer, dancing for their approval, waiting for them to finally see what you have always known. You are enough. But here's the truth. People who doubt you have already decided what they think of you. They've already measured you in their small minds, already placed you in a box. And no matter how much you try, no matter how much you give, they will never see beyond their own limitations. Think about it. Have you ever tried to prove your love to someone who didn't appreciate it? Did they suddenly realize your worth? Or did they take you for granted even more? When you chase, when you over-explain, when you keep trying to make someone see your value, you don't look valuable. You look desperate. And desperation does not attract respect. It attracts pity. You don't want to be pitied. You want to be valued. But value isn't something you beg for. It's something you own. A diamond does not beg someone to recognize its worth. It does not scream, "Look at me, I am rare, I am precious." No, it simply is. And those who understand its value, they see it, they respect it, they handle it with care. Those who don't, they overlook it, thinking it's just another rock. But that doesn't make the diamond any less valuable. It simply means that person does not have the eyes to see what is in front of them. And that is how you must think about yourself. You have spent too much time trying to convince people who were never meant to understand you. Too much time explaining yourself to those who have already made up their minds. Too much time waiting for validation from those who will never give it. And why? For what? If someone truly values you, they won't need a presentation. They won't need proof. They will feel it. They will see it in how you carry yourself, in how you treat them, in the energy you bring. But the moment you feel like you have to prove your worth, stop. Step back. Ask yourself, why am I trying so hard for someone who does not see me? The right people, the people who deserve you, will recognize you without effort. They will not question your value. They will not need reminders. They will not make you feel like you're not enough. Look at the world around you, the most successful, powerful people. Do they spend time explaining why they are great? Do they argue with those who doubt them? No. They simply move forward. They let their work speak. They let their presence be the answer. And that is what you must do. Be so focused on becoming your best self that proving your worth becomes irrelevant. Be so busy leveling up that you don't even notice who is watching. Let them doubt you. Let them think you can't do it. Let them underestimate you. That is their problem, not yours. Your job is not to convince, not to prove, not to seek approval. Your job is to evolve, to grow, to shine. And in that process, the ones who were blind to your worth will eventually look back and realize what they lost. But by then, you will be so far ahead that their opinion won't even matter. Success is the ultimate response. Not words, not arguments, not proving a point. Just success. Because when you rise, when you elevate beyond what they imagine, when you walk into rooms they thought you'd never enter, that silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. People who doubted you, people who underestimated you, people who left you for someone they thought was better, let them watch. Let them witness the version of you they never believed in. Most people waste their energy trying to argue with those who never saw their worth. They spend time explaining, justifying, proving, hoping that one day those people will finally admit they were wrong. But why? Why do you need their approval now when they couldn't even see your potential back then? You don't. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. You just need to become everything they said you couldn't be. Look at your life. How many times have you been told you're not good enough? How many times have you been looked over, rejected, ignored? And how did you respond? Did you let it break you? Or did you let it fuel you? The strongest people, the ones who truly succeed, do not waste time trying to explain their dreams to those who are blind to them. They take that doubt, that rejection, that pain, and they turn it into power. Imagine a person who was once told they wouldn't make it, who was laughed at, who was dismissed. And now they walk into the very places that once shut their doors on them. Now they live a life that people once thought was impossible for them. They didn't do it by arguing. They didn't do it by seeking validation. They did it by working in silence and letting success speak for itself. Success is the loudest response because it cannot be denied. When you transform, when you glow up mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, when you build a life that no one expected you to have, there is nothing left to say. They see it, they feel it, And in that moment, every word they ever spoke against you, every doubt they ever had crumbles. Because the truth stands in front of them. You have to understand something. Most people who doubt you don't actually believe you're incapable. They fear what will happen when you finally realize your own strength. They fear that one day they will have to watch you become untouchable. And that fear, that is why they try to bring you down. That is why they try to keep you small. Because they know that if you ever wake up, if you ever step into your power, there is nothing they can do to stop you. And this is your moment, this is your time to stop explaining, stop proving, stop arguing. Let them think what they want. Let them doubt. Let them talk. While they are busy watching, you will be busy working. While they are laughing now, you will be the one smiling later. Your success is coming. And when it does, you won't have to say a single word. Your life will be the response. Your glow will be the response. Your peace, your power, your confidence, that will be the response. And the ones who once ignored you, they will wish they had paid attention when they had the chance. Unfollow, delete, disappear. Not because you are weak, not because you are afraid, but because you refuse to give your energy to people who don't deserve it. The biggest mistake people make is keeping access open for those who no longer belong in their lives. You cannot heal in the same space that broke you. You cannot grow when you are constantly reminded of the past that hurt you. There is power in walking away. There is strength in silence. When you unfollow, you are not being petty. You are protecting your peace. When you delete, you are not being dramatic. You are clearing space for better things. And when you disappear, you are not running away. You are reclaiming yourself. Have you ever noticed how people want to keep you around, not because they love you, but because they love knowing they still have access to you? They want to know they can still reach you, still affect you, still control a part of you. And that is why you must break that chain. You see, the people who hurt you don't expect you to move on. They expect you to linger. They expect you to still check their profile, to still react, to still hold on in some way. They expect you to sit in your pain while they continue living their life.